Hello and welcome to TTVNEWS with some latest events in TayNinhTV province and across the country. Ladies and gentlemen, on the afternoon of June 2nd, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired an online conference to implement the National Assembly's resolution on piloting several special mechanisms and policies for social housing development, as well as to review and assess the progress made in the first 5 months and outline plans for the last months of 2025. At TayNinhTV Provincial Connecting Point, Vice Chairman of the Provincial Committee Đoàn Trung Kiên attended the session.
According to the Ministry of Construction, over 1,200 locations nationwide have been planned for the social housing development, covering nearly 9,740 hectares in several areas, and nearly 690 projects have been launched, rotating the totaling over 623,000 housing units, and in the first 5 months of 2025 alone, nearly 22,650 units were completed and 21 new projects started construction with more than 20,400 units. And speaking at a conference, the Prime Minister emphasized that the National Assembly adoption of the resolution number 201 on the May the 29th of 2025 regarding special mechanisms and policies for the social housing development has created a strong momentum for the socio-economic growth in the current context, and therefore the regulators must focus on removing obstacles and demands and assign provincial people's committees to review eligible beneficiaries in accordance with the law. The goal is to complete 1 million social housing units nationwide by the end of 2030.
On the afternoon of June 2nd, 2025, Senior Lieutenant General Võ Minh Lương, member of the Party Central Committee, Deputy Minister of National Defense, Deputy Head of the National Steering Committee, Ri H9, Head of the Ministry of National Defense Steering Committee, Ri H9, and Deputy Head of the Prime Minister Task Force on the fight against smuggling, trade fraud, and counterfeiters held a working session with TayNinhTV province to discuss intensified efforts in combating and preventing such crimes. Attending and working with the delegation, there were acting chairman of TayNinhTV People's Committee Nguyễn Hồng Thanh, Vice Chairman Trần Văn Chiến, and leaders of relevant departments and sectors. At a working session with the task force, the People's Committee of TayNinhTV province reported that in the first 5 months of 2025, members of Steering Committee H9 and relevant forces seriously implemented directives on combating smuggling, trade fraud, and counterfeiters. During this period, authorities detected and handled 291 cases involving 284 individuals. Administrative penalties were imposed in 237 cases, with total fines exceeding 4.7 billion Vietnam dong, and confiscated goods with pending liquidation worth over 160 billion Vietnam dong. Additionally, 25 criminal cases involving 34 individuals were prosecuted. Concluding the session, Senior Lieutenant General Võ Minh Lương commended TayNinhTV's resource and urged the province to continue strictly implementing the government's plans, directives, and National Steering Committee H9's guidance. He also called for renewed efforts in legal education to prevent public involvement in smuggling and counterfeiting. Acting Chairman of TayNinhTV People's Committee Nguyễn Hồng Thanh acknowledged the guidance and emphasized the province's commitment to intensifying efforts against crime, trade fraud, and counterfeiters in the coming time.
And in the first 5 months of 2025, the tourist sites across the province welcomed over 3.2 million visitors, generating the tourism revenue of 2,380 billion Vietnam dong, a 48% increase compared to the same period in 2024. And since the beginning of the year, the Provincial Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism has actively promoted the local tourism through events such as a conference with the Provincial Tourism Association and destination surveys for the travel agencies. And these efforts have resulted in the tour program targeting out of the province and international visitors, featuring attractions like Gorking, Bacote, Karak, Holy See, and Montberry Garden, Cantaloupe Farms, and Abading Mountain tourist area also. The local travel businesses have also expanded the tourism production, participated in the southeastern region tourism linkages for 2025, helping draw a significant number of tourists to the province.
On June 2nd, the Department of Water Resources under the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment, in coordination with the Southern Irrigation Exploitation One Member Company Limited, held a meeting of the Advisory Council to assess the safety of Yelting Dam and Reservoir for 2025. The meeting was chaired by Mr. Nguyễn Tùng Phong, Director of the Department of Hydraulic Works Management and Construction. Representatives from provinces using water from Yelting Reservoir, including Tây Ninh, Bình Dương, Bình Phước, Long An, and Ho Chi Minh City, also attended. At the meeting, Mr. Trần Quang Hùng, General Director of the Southern Irrigation Exploitation Company, reported that during the 2024 flood season, the company conducted 12 flood discharges totaling over 1.447 billion cubic meters, ensuring the safety of the dam, downstream areas, and meeting water demands for 5 provinces and cities. The company also effectively implemented the on-the-spot approach, local command forces, materials and logistics in disaster prevention and search and rescue operations, maintaining the safety of the irrigation system throughout the flood season. Concluding the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Tùng Phong requested the company to complete the repair and upgrade of the spillway by June 30 to ensure the safe operation. He also urged a review of the reservoir's condition and operating procedures to serve multiple purposes, structural safety, downstream protection, and water supply, while accounting for flood distress plans and improving flow forecasting and emergency response scenarios. From the first days in the Army, Negri Roads at Regiment 4 Division 5 Military Zone 7 are immersed in a serious and comprehensive political education environment. This marks the transformation from youth to soldiers and lays the foundation for building strong political resolve, revolutionary character, and unwavering trust in the party, the Army, and the nation.
Clearly recognizing that political education is the core of military development, Regiment 4 has developed practical training program tailored to the psychology and knowledge levels of the new recruits, and the core content includes Marxism-Leninism, Ho Chi Minh ideology, the heroic tradition of the Vietnam People's Army, and the national defense laws in the current area, countering hostile forces and peaceful evolution strategies, and the laws and regulations of the state and army. Innovative methods such as forums, youth dialogues, ring the golden bell competitions, and storytelling have made political lessons more engaging and memorable, increasing the training effectiveness and fostering the pride and personal responsibility. Fostering the determination and willpower among the officers and soldiers, creating motivation to build a unit that excellently fulfills on the side tasks. After 3 months of training, the new soldiers have notably strengthened their political awareness compared to the first day of enlistment. They now show the greater determination and strive to build a comprehensively strong, exemplary unit. And the regiment's comprehensive, dynamic, and in-depth political training has helped new recruits from the solid ideological foundations actively participate in learning and self-improvement, and show readiness to take on their side duties. And my company's battalion too often organize educational camps before or after classes to help us work in the groups, creating a comfortable and fun atmosphere without boredom. From someone who was shy about the politics, now I am always the most eager to speak up and contribute to the lesson. I've wrote for more material in my thinking and more discipline in everything I do. Political lessons have helped me understand why we vote and strengthen my readiness to serve. And thanks to its creative, coordinated approach, Regiment 4's political education efforts have deeply impacted the new soldiers' thinking, behavior, and motivation, and laying a solid foundation for them to uphold the tradition of loyalty, self-reliance, solidarity, determined victory, and contribute to building a strong, exemplary unit.
Turn to domestic news. Ladies and gentlemen, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has just signed decision number 1045 to establish a National Steering Committee to implement Resolution number 68 dated May 4, 2025, issued by the Politburo on private economic development. According to the decision, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính will serve as the head of the committee. Deputy heads include Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Chí Dũng and Minister of Finance Nguyễn Văn Thắng. The committee also includes leaders from various ministries, sectors, and localities. The committee is tasked with directing ministry sectors and localities in implementing the resolution to ensure its objectives are achieved, following principles of centralization and democracy. The head of the committee will chair planned meetings and make current ad hoc meetings when necessary, or delegate responsibilities to the deputy heads.
Recently, Darren South in Beijing have served as the Southeast Asia enters the peak harvest season. Although Vietnam has not deposited large volumes to China this season, its durian continued to make a strong impression in this billion consumer market. At wholesale markets and supermarkets in Beijing, such as Sifati and Homer, durian sales in May rose nearly 40% compared to the same period last year, and durians are carefully displayed with cutting and ready-to-eat services offered, making it convenient for the consumers. And this presents a golden opportunity for the Vietnamese durian to build its brand in this high-potential international market. However, Vietnamese authorities must strengthen quality control and the source of support exports during this year's peak season.
Since April 2025, the free coronary screening and intervention program at Hồng Hưng General Hospital has helped early detection of many cardiovascular cases in the community, especially among disadvantaged people. Many patients have received timely interventions and attentive post-treatment care. Beyond treatment, the medical team continuously monitors patients' heart health, contributing to forming a healthier community. The hospital screened over 350 disadvantaged people for coronary disease. Among them, 21 patients underwent DSA imaging, a modern technique that accurately detects vascular damage to support timely treatment. Notably, 11 patients received stent interventions following unified cardiology protocols. The entire diagnosis and intervention process is performed by Hồng Hưng doctors with expert support from the hospital. Procedures are strictly controlled to ensure maximum patient safety. After intervention, patients continued long-term follow-up and care in the hospital cardiology department to reduce restenosis risk and improve quality of life. The DSA procedure here is quick and simple. Patients are admitted for about 2 days, 1 day for preliminary test, 1 day for the procedure, and discharged on the 3rd day. The procedure uses minimal invasion without anesthesia or mechanical ventilation. Timely cardiovascular intervention at Hồng Hưng Hospital is crucial in treating coronary diseases, preventing heart attacks and serious complications. It saves lives in emergencies, reduce heart damage, speeds recovery, and lowers relapse risk. The hospital also promotes public health through education, raising awareness about early warning signs of heart disease. To detect coronary disease early, people need awareness of risk factors such as long-term hypertension, diabetes, family history of heart disease, or early stent placement. Other risks include age, obesity, and inactivity. Anyone experiencing symptoms like fatigue, chest heaviness, shortness of breath, or reduced exercise capacity should get screened immediately. The success of Hồng Hưng Hospital coronary screening and intervention program not only enables early detection of dangerous heart diseases, but also realizes comprehensive care goals from accurate diagnosis to timely intervention and effective post-treatment. This program reflects the hospital professional expertise, compassionate spirit, community responsibility, and the dedication of its medical team to preserving patients' lives.
Each year, Long An province allocates funds for the transportation infrastructure maintenance. In 2024 and 2025, 109 billion Vietnam dong was earmarked annually from the beginning of the year. However, according to the Department of Construction, this amount only covers about 50 to 60% of the minimum maintenance needs, and the total length of provincial roads, bridges, and border control routes under the department management continues to grow. Since 2021, the department has received nearly 150 kilometers of roads and transferred from other units, including the border control roads and the Thay Cai Canal of DT 823 State Road and the Khánh Hưng Hưng Điền 8 Road. It is also expected to take over another 40 kilometers of National Highway 50 and another from the Ministry of Finance. And to meet the growing repair and maintenance demands for the roads and bridges serving the local travelers, the Department of Construction has proposed that the province increase the annual budget allocation for transportation infrastructure to 170 billion Vietnam, focusing surplus funds and assist the revenues or other sources.
On June 1st, Vietnam Airlines officially launched a direct flight route from Ho Chi Minh City to Denpasar, the tourism capital of Bali, Indonesia. This marks the airline's second destination in Indonesia and is a strategic move to expand its Southeast Asian network while meeting the growing travel demand between the two countries. In the initial phase, Vietnam Airlines will operate 4 round-trip flights per week on Wednesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays. Starting June 2025, flight frequency will increase to daily service, 7 flights per week, to accommodate rising market demand. Dear audience, last weekend, visitor to the Botanical Garden in Tver, about 200 kilometers from Moscow, experienced a fascinating and unique Vietnamese cultural program. The Vietnamese Birthday Festival, celebrated on the 5th day of the 5th lunar moon in Vietnam, highlighting Vietnamese belief and their relationship with nature, was held amid the lush greenery of hundreds of plants and flower species. Although living in a small Russian city, the Vietnamese community representatives prepared typical items for the insect-killing day, such as plums, lychees, and even sticky rice queen. The festival was thoroughly introduced, explaining its origins, significance, and Vietnamese customs, allowing participants to not only learn about the tradition, but also experience Vietnamese cuisine and lifestyle. Vietnam is a tropical country with incredibly rich plant life. This richness, along with the respect for nature, could be a distinctive mark of Vietnam on the world map. Mutual understanding is crucial in business cooperation, and the best way to understand each other is through culture and nature. Together with the Botanical Gardens Director, we plan to establish a Vietnamese garden here and later in other botanical gardens in Moscow and across Russia. The event also featured other traditional Vietnamese cultural elements, warmly welcomed by attendees. I just wrote the word "good luck," which I will bring home to hang, wishing for good fortune, like the Vietnamese do. I was traveling in Tver and happened to attend the Vietnamese Cultural Festival. It was so interesting and appealing that I want to visit Vietnam immediately. Thanks to the creativity and heartfelt efforts of Russian friends, the festival brought Vietnamese culture one step closer to the land of Russia. And that's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us and goodbye for now.